When most people think of investing, they picture a scene like this: shouting traders, flashing screens, and a chaotic blur of numbers going up and down. It looks like a high-stakes casino, and for many people, it feels entirely out of reach. But building wealth is much closer to what you'd find on a bright morning here, at a bustling, sun-drenched market. This is where business makes sense. People buy goods, sellers make a profit, and cash changes hands. Let's look at Amma. She works hard at her daily job, and every morning she stops by her favorite stall, Kwame's Bakery. Kwame sells out of his fresh bread every single day. His business is booming. Imagine if Amma could earn a share of the actual money Kwame's Bakery brings in, without ever needing to bake a single loaf of bread herself. This is what true investing looks like. You are becoming a silent partner in a real, cash-generating business. Amma decides to offer Kwame some of her savings to help him buy more flour and a bigger oven. In exchange, she now owns a small slice of the bakery. At the end of the month, Kwame tallies up his sales. He pays for his ingredients, pays his workers, and looks at the cash he has left over. Because Amma's money helped the business run, Kwame hands her a physical envelope containing a cut of those remaining profits. This regular cash payment is called a dividend. It is a direct reward paid to you for providing the funds a successful business needed to operate. While numbers on a screen can be complicated, cash in an envelope is hard to fake. When a business pays you month after month, it proves beyond a doubt that they are generating real money. Amma now faces a choice. She can take her new cash and buy a new dress, or she can put it right back to work. She chooses to hand that cash straight back to Kwame, using her profit to buy another tiny sliver of the bakery. This flowchart shows how that choice pays off. A loaf of bread is sold, turning into a coin for Amma. She adds that coin to her stack of ownership. Because her stack is now a little bigger, the bakery pays her 2 coins the following month. By repeating this exact step month after month, Amma creates a compounding loop. Her money buys more shares, those new shares generate their own cash, and that cash buys even more shares. Her income snowballs without any additional physical work on her part. Routinely putting those payouts back into the business builds an automatic wealth engine that expands on its own. As Amma's wealth grows, she looks around the market for other places to invest. She walks right past a flashy new tech stall. The owner promises massive payouts to anyone who invests, but she notices he has 0 actual customers. That flashy stall is what investors call a yield trap. It's a promise of a high payout that covers up a business that is actually struggling or failing. Instead, Amma puts her money into a local water delivery service. This represents an essential business, a consumer staple. People will buy water no matter what is happening in the economy. This logic applies on a global scale. Some of the most reliable dividend-paying companies in the world are massive brands selling basic drinks or household goods. They have delivered products and steady cash for decades. The most successful dividend strategies rely on businesses that are careful with their cash and follow a predictable plan, rather than those chasing speculative hype. Eventually, the market faces a tough year. The cost of living at the market rises, and ingredients like flour and sugar become much more expensive to buy. To survive these rising costs, Kwame's Bakery, just like massive global corporations, has to raise the price of the bread it sells to the public. Because people still need to eat, the business takes in more money. This means the overall cash profits actually increase. This chart compares what happens next. As the cost of living goes up, the cash in Amma's monthly dividend envelope gets thicker too. Her income rises to match or even beat those higher prices. Unlike a static savings account, a growing dividend from a strong, adaptable company acts as a dynamic shield against the rising cost of living. Market crashes are a reality of investing. When they happen, many people panic as they watch the total theoretical value of their accounts drop. Amma doesn't panic. She has trained herself to look past the changing price of the bakery and focus entirely on her income stream. Even if the overall market drops by 20%, as long as the bakery is still selling bread, Amma's physical dividend payouts remain steady and secure. Amma sees things differently. To her, a market crash is just a sale. She uses her steady dividend cash to buy even more shares of the bakery at a heavy discount. By focusing on her cash flow rather than the daily swings of the market, Amma stays calm and disciplined while others are running for the exits. Years go by. Amma kept her day job, but quietly, her silent partnerships were continuously looping and expanding in the background. This graph lays out her monthly living expenses, which total 4,000 cedis. Now look at this second bar. Because of decades of compounding, her passive cash flow now completely covers her living expenses, hitting 4,500 cedis. Amma is now at the beautiful Aburi Botanical Gardens with her family. She is finally free from the obligation to work for survival. Dividend investing is a patient path to turning your capital into a tireless employee, one that pays for your freedom for the rest of your life.